So the next question, a bit of a mouthful for their name, is from my underscore amazing underscore animals underscore 21. I hope all of your animals are amazing, because that seems like a lot of effort that you've gone through for that name. Their question is, do you regret going onto Love Island, and whilst you were in the villa, did it ever rain? Now, that is a fantastic question. I've just gone back out of screen. Great question. Do I regret going on Love Island? Well, I'd say no. It's an experience that I'll never get again in my life. Whilst I was away, it was a fantastic week. Obviously, since I've been out, it's very strange. I'm not sort of someone that likes to be in the public eye, or I found it difficult at times, I'd say, with people coming up to me asking for my picture, especially when I was only in there for like 3 days on the telly. Obviously, if you want a picture, just ask. But I found that very, very weird. Sometimes it's difficult to eat in restaurants when I'm with someone. Plus, I hate people watching me eat, so yeah, that's a bit difficult. But in terms of do I regret it, I mean, if you look at the people that was in there other than me, they all sort of had jobs where they was barbers or personal trainers or models, fair play to them. Jobs like that where they can pick their job back up, whereas where I was in sales, I sort of had to pack that in and risk it going in there. I felt like when I was in there, I'd done enough to get more airtime than I was potentially given. But I understand that a show's got to be produced, and what a fantastic show it was. So I don't regret going onto the island. I've made some really good friends off the back of it, but I wish that I had more airtime so everyone got a better chance to see what I'm about. And in terms of, yes, did it rain? Yes, it rained 2 days, I think, when I was in there. Basically, what happens is you'll just get told to go back into the villa. You're not allowed outside until it stops raining, basically. So it's a bit of a strange situation. Sometimes they can stop filming because they don't want you to have chats or sitting around, whatever. But yeah, bit of a crazy one. Next question is for _.lucx, and it is, how did you feel when you got dumped from the island? If I'm perfectly honest, when the text came through to say that the public had been voting for who they'd want to remain on the island out of the boys and the girls, I was 100% certain that I was going anyway. Reason for that is because I went in, I think it was either middle of week 3 or start of week 4, and that gives everyone a chance to grow fondly to the personalities that were already in the villa. Don't get me wrong, they're fantastic personalities, but no one really got to know me. Added to that, you had the Craig and Camilla situation, which, whilst the villas were split, was probably one of the main storylines, and inside the villa we sort of knew that was going to be the case. The fact that Camilla and Montana had finally found, well, what we believed had finally found their guys. My only interest came in Danielle, and she was obviously in the other villa, so I wasn't surprised at all. I was gutted that the experience was over as quickly as it was for me. That is definitely one thing I would say. Like, obviously, I didn't go in there to come out after a week, but what I will say is that, yeah, I fully once I knew how the voting was done, I fully expected myself to be kicked out. The only way I thought I could stay in was if it was vote for who you want to get rid of, because I knew there was a lot of animosity towards Johnny from the public, so maybe they would have got rid of him over anyone else. Saying that though, Johnny's a top bloke, so yeah, no. Although I was in that position, I wouldn't have wished anyone else to go home over me. So, next question is from LW_Williams 18, and their question is, how do you get so many free clothes? Who said that these clothes were free? I don't understand that one. I mean, obviously I've got brands that I'm interested in, and yeah, I'll just go out there and shop like most people. You know, if you like what you see on my profile or the clothes, then just go out and buy them like myself, innit? No one gets free. Nothing's free in this world. Nothing is free. So I've got the next question from Tia_.x. Which girl was your best friend in the villa, excluding Danielle? Jesus, that is a very good question. Reason for that is because I did get on really well with all the girls. Like, I'd say with Liv, we could look at each other and just literally piss ourselves laughing, especially if we was talking about a couple of people or thinking about a couple of people. Amber, obviously, no one got to see the chats me and Amber had, but I know that she sort of viewed me as like a figure of, not a father figure, but just a wise head, which is very rare because I'm a bit of an idiot. But I'd have to say, naturally, Montana is, yeah, she's just an absolute superstar. Funny, intelligent, gorgeous. Yeah, I couldn't say a bad word about that girl, and we'd literally got on like brother and sister. So, yeah, no, Montana, hands down. This question is from I_Shelley_. Which couples from the series, not just the finalists, do you think will stay together in a year's time, bearing in mind that there's only 3 from last year still together? Okay, so this is a very good question. I think that all of the couples that left together are compatible with each other. However, when you come out of the island, you realise how much of a bubble you're in. Like, especially for me, like, I think when you're in there, everything's sped up. So your friendships you make, the decisions you make around people, because it's not a game, but you sort of know that you're in there to fall for someone. So you just let things happen where on the outside you'd be a lot more cautious. Plus, if you look at the finalists now, everyone's got their own different work going on at the moment. So you go from a relationship that's so intense, you're with that person 24 hours a day in a villa for, well, most of the finalists were the originals, so they was in there 6, 7, 8 weeks, I think. So you're going from being around that person 24 hours for 7, 8 weeks to then not seeing them for however long because someone's up north on a PA or in another country on a PA or doing a modelling shoot in another country, whilst the other one is elsewhere. So I think all of the couples 100% could stay together, but it is a true test to go from one extreme to another. I know that I'd really struggle with that myself. I'm quite needy at times, especially when I'm hungover, and not having that person that I care about the most there with me at my time of need would hurt me a lot. So yeah, I'd say I'd like to think everyone that come out together will stay together, but obviously you see different sides of people when you come out in the real world. So yeah, I'd say let's hope, but this is from Leonie.Lewis, and her question is, if you had to pick one of the girls that were in the final to couple up with, who would you pick and why? I think that would remain with Amber for me. Obviously, it just looked on telly like it was completely random that she chose me, but we did get on like a house on fire. Whether or not there was a romantic level there, I'd say we still had a lot of fun together, and I'm really glad that she sort of showed everyone the side of her that I got to see when I was in there. I went in there thinking she's going to be an absolute nightmare. In fact, when I was in holding, I turned around to the producers and I said, I literally will steer clear of her. Like, she's just an absolute nightmare. And then I got in there and I was just, first night I was in complete shock. Like, she's just an absolute star. I think our personalities clicked, but I think it wasn't like people was, when I come out, was like, oh yeah, it's just because you're her type on paper. Like, she said to me that if my personality was in any of the other boys, then she would have picked them. So it had nothing to do with looks. And for me, coupling up with her would have nothing to do with looks, although she is gorgeous. But I just think that we had that sort of a really good connection in there, so I would have coupled up with her again. 100%. So the next question is from D. Rankin, and his question was, is there any security around the villa at all times? Yeah, I think there's just, obviously when you're inside you don't really see, but when you're being transported and that, there's always security about. Obviously you've got to remember that Love Island was probably the biggest show of the summer, so therefore not security in the sense of people want to get in and attack the islanders, but more in the sense that people want to get pictures and so on. Like, I heard stories that the media sort of flew helicopters past the villa and the voice of God told everyone to run inside, as they obviously don't want anything like that to be shown. So yeah, there is obviously security, plus all the equipment's going to cost money and so on, so they need to be vigilant of their assets as well, I guess. So thanks for that question. So I've got a question here. I am going to spell this username because I'm feeling a little bit illiterate here, so apologies, but it's CAOIMHEBLAACK. So Hair Black, maybe, I don't know. Sorry about that. But your question was, who was your favourite couple in the villa? I would have to say my favourite couple in the villa was Mon and Alex, because Mon was my best pal out of the girls and Alex out of the boys. But if I'd say my favourite couple to be around would without a doubt be Chris and Olivia. Like, they are fucking hilarious. Like, literally non-stop at each other in, like, it's just crazy how well they're so well suited, but they just clash so much because they're both amazing personalities, such strong personalities, and they're both after, like, both want to know who wears the trousers, and neither of them in my time in the villa was going to let the other one wear the trousers. But yeah, they were both absolutely phenomenal in there, so 100% they was my favourite couple to be around.